The phone calls never stopped coming. Doctor appointments, school meetings, grocery store problems, insurance issues, all flowing through the small hands of a 12-year-old girl who had become her family's bridge to the hearing world. But when Ellen asked Emma Rodriguez how she helped her family, her answer revealed the crushing weight of responsibility no child should carry. "I'm their voice in the hearing world." Emma Rodriguez, 12, sat in the interview chair with the poised demeanor of someone far older than her years, her hands moving gracefully as she spoke both in English and American Sign Language simultaneously. Her parents, Maria and Carlos Rodriguez, sat in the front row of the audience, beaming with pride at their daughter, but unable to hear the conversation unfolding on stage. What looked like a remarkable family bond was actually a 12-year-old child, carrying the communication burden for 4 adults who depended on her for every interaction with the hearing world. The Ellen DeGeneres Show had invited the Rodriguez family during their Amazing Kids Week, celebrating children who showed exceptional skills and maturity beyond their years. Emma's story had seemed inspiring to producers, a hearing child born to deaf parents who had become fluent in sign language and served as a family interpreter. Her school had submitted her story as an example of a remarkable young person who helped her family navigate daily life with grace and intelligence. What Ellen's producers didn't fully understand was that Emma wasn't just helping her family occasionally. She was functioning as their primary means of communication with the outside world. Every phone call, every appointment, every emergency, every interaction with teachers, doctors, employers, and strangers fell on Emma's shoulders. She had been interpreting since she was old enough to speak, missing out on childhood activities to attend adult meetings and handle adult responsibilities. Emma was the oldest of 3 children in the Rodriguez household. Her parents, Maria and Carlos, had both been born deaf and attended deaf schools where they met and fell in love. Her younger brothers, Miguel, 8, and Diego, 6, were also deaf, making Emma the only hearing member of the family. While her parents were intelligent, capable adults with jobs and social lives within the deaf community, the hearing world presented constant challenges that fell to Emma to navigate. The family's reliance on Emma had intensified over the years as their lives became more complex. Carlos worked as a maintenance supervisor at a large office building, but relied on Emma to communicate with his supervisors about scheduling and problems. Maria cleaned houses for several families, but needed Emma to coordinate with clients about timing and special requests. The family's medical care, legal matters, school issues for the boys, and even simple tasks like ordering pizza or talking to repair technicians all required Emma's interpretation services. Emma, Ellen began with genuine admiration, completely unaware of the burden she was about to uncover. "I understand you help your family communicate. Tell us about that." Emma straightened in her chair, her hands automatically moving to sign Ellen's words for her parents, even though they couldn't see her from their seats. "I interpret for my parents and my brothers. They're all deaf, and I'm the only one in the family who can hear." Ellen felt impressed by Emma's composure and maturity. "How long have you been interpreting for them?" "Since I was about 4 years old," Emma said matter-of-factly. "That's when I could speak well enough to help them with phone calls and talking to neighbors." Ellen realized Emma had been doing this work since she was barely out of toddlerhood. "What kinds of things do you interpret?" "Everything," Emma said simply. "Doctor appointments, parent-teacher conferences, work meetings, emergencies, shopping, talking to repair people when something breaks." Ellen was beginning to understand the scope of Emma's responsibilities. "Emma, that sounds like a lot of work for someone your age." "It's just normal for me," Emma said with a slight shrug. "My family needs me, so I help them." Ellen felt both admiration and concern for this child's sense of duty. "Can you give me an example of a typical day?" "Yesterday, I had to miss my math class to go with Mama to the doctor because she was having chest pains," Emma explained. The doctor needed to ask her questions about her symptoms, and she needed to understand what tests they wanted to do. Ellen felt alarmed that Emma was missing school for medical appointments. "Do you miss school often for things like this?" "A few times a month," Emma admitted. "Sometimes there are emergencies or appointments that can't wait until after school." Ellen realized Emma's education was being impacted by her family responsibilities. What about your own activities? Do you play sports or have hobbies? I wanted to join the drama club, Emma said wistfully. But rehearsals are after school, and that's when I usually help with phone calls and appointments. Ellen felt the sacrifice in Emma's voice. What about friends? Do you spend time with other kids your age? Not really, Emma said quietly. When other kids are hanging out or having sleepovers, I'm usually helping my family with something. Ellen realized Emma was living an adult life at 12 years old. Emma, do you ever feel overwhelmed by all this responsibility? Emma paused, her composure flickering for the first time. Sometimes I wish I could just be a kid, but my family depends on me. Ellen felt her heart breaking for this child's sacrificed childhood. What happens when you're not available to interpret? They have to wait for me, Emma said. Or they try to write things down, but that doesn't always work for complicated things. Ellen was beginning to understand the family's complete dependence on Emma. Emma, what would happen if you got sick or couldn't help for some reason? That happened once, when I had pneumonia, Emma said. Mama had to miss work for a week because she couldn't communicate with her clients without me. Ellen realized the entire family's functioning revolved around one child. That must have been stressful for everyone. Very stressful, Emma confirmed. I felt guilty for being sick because I knew it was causing problems for everyone. Ellen felt the inappropriate guilt this child was carrying. Emma, it's not your fault when you get sick. I know, Emma said, though her expression suggested she didn't fully believe it. But when I'm not there to help, everything becomes harder for my family. Ellen made a decision that felt both necessary and overdue. Emma, I want your parents to join us on stage so we can discuss this together. Emma looked nervous. They don't know I sometimes feel overwhelmed. I don't want them to feel bad. They love you, Ellen assured her. They need to understand what this is like for you. Ellen gestured for Maria and Carlos Rodriguez to join them on stage. They approached with smiles, clearly proud of their daughter, but uncertain about what was being discussed. Emma immediately began signing to translate Ellen's words. Emma, can you tell your parents that we've been talking about how much interpreting you do for the family? Ellen asked. Emma's hands moved gracefully as she conveyed Ellen's message. Her parents' expressions grew more serious as they understood the conversation topic. Maria signed something to Emma, who translated, Mama says she's proud of how much I help the family. Ellen felt the need to address the family dynamics directly. Can you ask your parents if they realize how much responsibility you carry? Emma translated, and both parents responded with animated signing. They say they know I help a lot, but they don't think it's too much because I'm good at it. Ellen realized the parents might not understand the impact on Emma's childhood. Can you ask them if they know you miss school and activities to interpret for them? Emma hesitated before translating this question. Her parents looked surprised and concerned when they understood. Carlos signed something urgently, which Emma translated. Papa says he didn't know I was missing school. He thought the appointments were always during my free time. Ellen felt this was a crucial moment for family awareness. Emma, can you tell them how you feel about missing activities and time with friends? Emma's hands slowed as she struggled to translate her emotional truth. I told them that sometimes I feel like I can't be a regular kid because I'm always needed for adult things. Both parents immediately looked distressed, their hands moving rapidly as they communicated with each other and Emma. What are they saying? Ellen asked. They're saying they never wanted me to feel burdened, Emma translated, tears forming in her eyes. They thought I enjoyed helping them. Ellen felt the family's love and good intentions, but also their lack of awareness about Emma's sacrifices. Emma, I want to bring someone out who can help your family. Dr. Sarah Chen, a family therapist who specialized in hearing children of deaf adults, CODAs, emerged from backstage. She was fluent in ASL and immediately began signing as she spoke. Hello, Dr. Chen said, her hands moving as she spoke. I'm Dr. Chen, and I work with families like yours, where hearing children interpret for deaf parents. Emma looked relieved to see someone who could communicate directly with her parents. Dr. Chen addressed the family directly in both spoken English and sign language. Emma is what we call a CODA, a child of deaf adults. Many CODAs face similar challenges. Ellen felt grateful for professional perspective. Dr. Chen, what are the typical issues CODAs experience? They often carry inappropriate responsibility for adult matters, Dr. Chen explained while signing. They miss out on childhood experiences and may feel guilty about their own needs. Emma was translating for her parents, who looked increasingly concerned as they understood the broader context. What does this mean for Emma's development? Ellen asked. CODAs can experience anxiety, academic problems, and difficulty forming peer relationships, Dr. Chen said. They often struggle with boundaries and feel responsible for their family's well-being. Maria signed something urgently, which Dr. Chen translated directly. She's asking if they've been bad parents. Not at all, Dr. Chen assured them in sign and speech. But the family needs better support systems so Emma can be a child. Ellen asked the crucial question. What kind of support does this family need? Professional interpreting services for medical and legal appointments, Dr. Chen explained. Video relay services for phone calls, and counseling to help Emma establish healthy boundaries. Carlos signed a question, which Dr. Chen translated. He's asking how much these services cost and whether insurance covers them. Many are covered by law or insurance, Dr. Chen assured him. The Americans with Disabilities Act requires many accommodations. Ellen made an announcement that could change everything for this family. We want to connect you with professional interpreting services and help cover any costs not covered by insurance. Emma looked amazed. Really? That would mean I wouldn't have to miss school for appointments. That's exactly what it means, Ellen confirmed. You could focus on being 12 years old. Dr. Chen addressed Emma directly. How does it feel to think about having more time for yourself? Scary, Emma admitted honestly. I've been helping my family for so long. I don't know what I would do with free time. That's very normal for CODAs, Dr. Chen assured her. We can help you learn to enjoy childhood activities without feeling guilty. Ellen felt moved by Emma's honesty. What would you want to do if you had more free time? Join the drama club, Emma said immediately. And maybe have a sleepover with friends from my class. Her parents signed something, which Dr. Chen translated. They're saying they want Emma to do those things and they're sorry they didn't realize she was missing out. Ellen felt the family's love and willingness to change. Emma, how do you feel about your parents wanting you to have more free time? Happy but also worried, Emma said. What if they need me and I'm not there? Dr. Chen addressed this common CODA concern. We'll help your family develop other communication strategies so you're not the only option. Ellen asked about the broader picture. What else can help families like this? Teaching the hearing community basic sign language, Dr. Chen said. Many communication problems could be solved if more people knew even simple signs. Ellen made another announcement. We're going to arrange sign language classes for Emma's school so her teachers and classmates can communicate better with her family. Emma's face lit up with genuine joy for the first time during the interview. My friends could talk to my parents directly. That's the goal, Ellen confirmed. The episode aired 2 months later, after the Rodriguez family had begun working with professional interpreters and Emma had started therapy to address her over-responsibility. The response was overwhelming, with thousands of CODA families reaching out to share their own experiences. Emma was able to join the drama club and made her first close friend, a classmate who was learning sign language to communicate with Emma's family. Her grades improved when she stopped missing school for family appointments, and she began experiencing typical 12-year-old activities for the first time. The family learned to use video relay services for phone calls and professional interpreters for important appointments. Maria and Carlos also began attending deaf community events more frequently, expanding their social support network. 6 months later, the Rodriguez family returned to Ellen's show for a follow-up. Emma looked visibly different, more relaxed and age-appropriate, with the natural energy of a child rather than the composed demeanor of a miniature adult. How is everyone doing? Ellen asked, with Dr. Chen present to interpret. Much better, Emma said, her hands moving to sign for her parents out of habit, but with less urgency. I'm in the school play, and I have friends who can sign with my family. How are your parents, adjusting to less dependence on you? They're proud of me for doing kid things, Emma said, signing her parents' response. They said they want me to be happy, not just helpful. Ellen felt moved by the family's growth. What's been the biggest change? I learned that helping my family and taking care of myself can both be important, Emma said with wisdom beyond her years. Dr. Chen added important context. The Rodriguez family represents thousands of CODA families who need support to balance cultural communication needs with children's developmental needs. Ellen kept a photo from that follow-up show. Emma on stage in her school play costume while her parents applauded from the audience, communicating with other parents in sign language. It reminded her that love sometimes means allowing children to be children, even when their unique skills make them valuable helpers. Because Emma learned that being helpful to her family didn't require sacrificing her entire childhood, and that her parents' love for her included wanting her to experience age-appropriate activities and friendships, that being bilingual and bicultural was a gift, but not one that should prevent her from enjoying the universal experiences of childhood, and that sometimes the most loving thing families can do is seek outside support so that children can remain children while still honoring their cultural identity and family bond. The Rodriguez family learned that asking for help wasn't a sign of weakness or failure, but rather a way of ensuring that every family member, including their daughter, could thrive in both the deaf and hearing worlds. They discovered that Emma's happiness mattered as much as her helpfulness, and that protecting her childhood was part of protecting her future.